MLS Cup Playoff Round 1 is almost upon us. It starts Saturday and continues through Tuesday. So Ali Moreno is with me now as we'll bring you some predictions. And we'll start with Philly against the New York Red Bulls, Ali, two of the stingiest defenses in MLS. Who are you going for?
I'm going to go with the Philadelphia Union. Now, last season, the Philadelphia Union went into the playoffs as somewhat favorites because they had won the Supporters' Shield, and they didn't seem quite ready to take that role of being favorites. I think they're far more comfortable in being the underdog. However, they're not going to be the underdogs against New York Red Bull. You finished second in the Eastern Conference to the New England Revolution. I think you should be the favorites. And I think that this group has matured to the point to where now they're comfortable in that role, at least playing against the New York Red Bulls. I think Philadelphia Union advance.
All right. Nashville against Orlando is your next one. Who are you going for?
This is a tricky one because I like what Oscar Pareja has done with Orlando City, and I like the way that they play the game. But in liking the way that they play the game, I also tell you this is a team that is wide open and allows a whole ton of goals. And so for me, this is a team that allows way too many goals against a Nashville team that doesn't allow many goals and have had in Hani Mukhtar a very, very productive, very good player for them. I think Nashville just, and I mean it's tight, but Nashville just advances.
Just. All right. NYCFC against Atlanta United. What will define the outcome of this clash, do you think?
Well, some people would point at the leading goal scorer in MLS, Valentin Castellanos, as perhaps the difference. But if Atlanta is playing, that means Josef Martinez is playing. And if Josef Martinez is playing, he's the difference maker. Vamos, Venezuela! Atlanta advances by NYCFC.
I like it. All right. Seattle Real Salt Lake. What should we look out for?
Well, Real Salt Lake is a team that barely made it into the playoff with a last-minute goal by Damir Kreilach in a game that, by the way, had VAR and referee done their job, then Justin Glide would have been called for a handball, and Sporting Kansas City would have had a penalty, and potentially Real Salt Lake would not have been in the playoffs. So somehow they're in the playoffs, and you would think, well, this is Seattle, right? It's Seattle at home. It should be a walkover by Seattle. And then you look at the number 9. That's 6 matches that they haven't won a game. Okay, as good as Seattle has been and as good as we think they are going to be, it's going to be tough. But Seattle advances. It's close, but Seattle advances.
All right. Next up is a team that likes having the ball against a team that doesn't really mind not having the ball. It's Sporting KC against the Vancouver Whitecaps. Who's coming out on top?
I'm going to go with Sporting Kansas City, and I'm not comfortable with this. I'm going to go with them because I'm thinking about Peter Vermees and I'm thinking about what this team can be at home. However, the inconsistencies of Sporting Kansas City over the last month, if you look back at their schedule, over the last month, they have lost 1, won 1, lost 1, won 1, lost 1, won 1, lost 1. You get the point, right? Here's the thing. Their last match against Real Salt Lake, we just mentioned, they lost it. So they're due. They're about to win one. I'm just following the trend. Statistical trend, I'm following that trend.
Even due to the even though there's the circumstances that they lost it under, you think the trend will just continue?
Right. They won one, they lost one. They're due.
All right.
They're due for a win.
Now, the next one, I'm not going to ask for your prediction because we're professionals here. The next one is the Portland Timbers taking on Minnesota United. And the reason I won't ask you for a prediction is because you're going to be on the call for this game, Ale, but you can tell us what we can expect from it.
Well, I think it's going to be really interesting at home, the approach of the Portland Timbers. They were so very successful in their last few matches at home when they were able to press together. And those lines of pressure started with the front line and from there creating turnovers. And when they create those turnovers, then they're able to go in the attack. In their last match against Austin, the first couple of goals, it was just press after press after press. Create turnover, one pass forward, and now all of a sudden they find themselves inside the 18-yard box with a goal-scoring opportunity. If they're able to do that, and if Minnesota struggles playing out of that pressure, or if they get cued with their possession, trying to play out of that pressure, then they're asking for trouble. I think Portland at home may be looking for that pressure. It's going to be key for Minnesota to bypass that pressure and be able to play in the attacking half, or at the very least, push Portland back. If you allow them to come forward and pressure you, you are going to be asking for trouble if you're Minnesota.
Okay, round 1 coming up on Saturday. MLS playoffs are upon us. Don't miss them.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.